Hey friends, it's Celine and welcome back to my channel. It feels so good to finally be sitting down and filming a video for this channel. I've been doing a lot, well not a lot, but I've been posting on my book channel more recently because I've been reading a lot, which has been lovely. I love to read. So yeah. I've been posting more on there and I thought that it was just time to sit back down for this channel and just kind of give an update and just kind of, this is kind of like a journal entry for me. Just kind of where I've been. I haven't been gone for that long. But I had a lot of plans for this channel and a lot of things that I wanted to do. And then I just disappeared for a good probably like a month and a half now. So yeah, I thought that today I would just sit down. I didn't really have anything planned, so we'll see where this goes. I tend to go on a lot of tangents when I don't plan what I'm going to really talk about, so bear with me through this one, but it's good to be sitting here and chatting with you guys. And I do of course have an iced coffee here with me that I put a little bit too much milk in, so it's fine. I'm enjoying it either way. But anyways, let's go ahead and just chat. So why I didn't really post or even film anything for this channel was just honestly because I first just ran out of ideas and inspiration and things that I could talk about and things that I was learning at the moment. And that kind of put me into a creative rut, just with this and with other creative areas in my life. I just ran out of inspiration. And for me, being more of a creative, more like entrepreneurial type person, and someone who really crafts a lot, that's difficult for me, and it always spins me into an overall rut. And it ultimately led me to being in a creative rut, a spiritual rut, and just feeling down all the time. And for, I would say, no particular reason. I mean, I think the fact that I wasn't putting anything out there and I wasn't feeling productive in any sort of way was not helping me. But I was very much in a self-pitying season. And during that time, I wasn't even doing much of anything. Honestly, if I wasn't doing anything like filming or writing or reading even, or crocheting or cooking or baking, I wasn't doing any of that just because it was a weird time for me, and it definitely was the enemy coming into my mind trying to infiltrate, and I kind of let it happen. Honestly, to be completely honest, I wasn't even picking up my Bible anymore. From one day to the next, I just stopped, and that certainly did not help at all. But there was that voice in my head that said, you need to pick up your Bible, but I let the side of me that said, I don't feel like it, win. And that, I think, is what brought me further into that self-pitying season that I was in. And it wasn't until I finally just decided to pick up, I was reading Passion and Purity by Elizabeth Elliot back in, I think I started it last fall, and then just with the busyness of the holidays, I didn't get around to finishing it, and I finally decided to just pick it up. I was like, I need to do something, so I picked that up. I picked it up, and the next chapter that I had to read was titled Self-Pity. God's funny like that with me sometimes. And she just spoke on how dangerous it is for us to fall into self-pity. And of course I knew that before, but at least for me, when I'm in the thick of it, I just seem to forget all of the wisdom that I have heard or read in regards to anxiety and just depression and all of that. I just seem to forget it all, and I'm just like, woe is me, my life is horrible, end of story. And so I read that chapter, and it really kind of shifted things in my mind, like why do I feel this way? Well, for one, I'm not reading my Bible. Celine, you're not reading your Bible. Of course you're feeling this way. And two, all the thoughts that were like consuming me were just self-pity. Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not productive. If I'm not productive, then what is my purpose? And I was losing my sense of that. And so that really kind of brought me back to reality almost, and just kind of venting and speaking a little bit like with my mom and just a couple friends too. I realized that I need to snap out of it, because I can't go further into this self-pity, because that's just going to be so much more detrimental the more I let it linger around. So after reading that chapter, I then proceeded to blow through the rest of the book. I tend to do that. Sometimes I will start reading a book and then I put it down and kind of procrastinate picking it up again, especially with nonfiction. And then once I finally pick it back up again, I will blow through the rest of the book in one sitting. I don't know why I do that. That's just something I do. And that really, for one, got me motivated to read again, which I feel like for me, it's become such a good thing in my life, reading. If I am in a good kind of rhythm with reading, and I don't know, it's just something that I feel good whenever I read. It's something that makes me happy. I don't know how else to put it other than that. And so getting back into reading just kind of was the first step into me kind of getting out of that rut. And then I think from there, there's something about Elizabeth Elliot and just the way that she speaks and the way that she writes. She's one of my favorite writers and speakers. I started listening to her podcast again as well, and reading that book. There's just something about her work that just uplifts me every single time. And also something that just compels me to run to the cross. And I think that's amazing. Nobody else's speaking or writing really does that for me in the way that Elizabeth Elliot does. It's just such an amazing realization whenever I make that connection. And so I really appreciate Elizabeth Elliot for that. So I did. It compelled me to get back to reading my Bible. Reading other books is great, from other Christian writers and everything, but you got to read your Bible, right? That's the most important piece of literature that we all have in our lives. If I can even call it literature. It felt wrong to call that literature, but anyway, I picked up my Bible again, and I was inconsistent at first because it felt awkward, and I feel like the enemy was kind of still trying to tug on me and saying like, wait, no, you don't want to read your Bible, right? Like, you don't feel like doing this right now. And I didn't, but I just, step by step, I would just try to actively make the decision to just pick up my Bible no matter how tired I was or how much I wanted to do something else, how much I wanted to pick up my phone in the morning before my Bible. So it was inconsistent at first, but thank the Lord, I am back to my daily morning reading and prayer as well. Whenever I stop reading my Bible, I seem to always stop praying as well, which is not good. I think for me, I've never really had an issue with praying, but I experienced for the first time feeling awkward with prayer and not really knowing what to say. There's nothing you're supposed to say, right? But I just it felt weird this time, and I felt different, and I felt awkward around it, and I literally prayed like, Lord, I don't like this feeling. I feel like I have been so deep in my self-pity and just actively avoiding your word and avoiding praying that, you know, now it feels weird and it feels awkward and it feels like this is something completely new to me, and it's not. And I don't like this feeling. I don't want this again, Lord, and just take me away from that. I don't want this. And again, it was inconsistent at first, but slowly I built up my familiarity with it again, and of course with God's help. So that's kind of what was going on. I feel like that was kind of a long tangent, but that's really what was going on in that little bit of time. And once I finally felt like, okay, I think I can finally just sit down and, you know, think of some things to film and talk about with you guys. And at that point, I ended up getting busy with a project with my Etsy business. So that has been a blessing, and it's looking like it's going to be an open door, you know, just filled with opportunities. So I am so grateful for that. But that kind of stole me away for another little bit. But now I'm kind of here just trying to recalibrate after just finally getting out of that cloudiness that I was in, and then just kind of getting out of the really busy, you know, week or so that I was in. And now I'm just kind of ready to sit down and plan and think about some things that I would like to film and kind of bring you guys along for. So I have gone thrifting. That's another one of my favorite things to do. So I have acquired some cute little things and some kind of special things. So if you would like to see a kind of like what I have recently thrifted video, let me know if you're interested in that at all. And if you have any other ideas, anything you would like to see from me, definitely let me know, and I will be sure to do that for you. But yeah, that's kind of what has been happening. Even sitting now, it feels a little weird. I have sat down and filmed, like I said, for my book channel, but sitting here feels a little different, and so it's a little bit awkward for me, but I at the same time am happy to be here. So here's to hoping that I can get back into it and put some more videos out there for you guys soon. But I think with that, I will go ahead and say goodbye for today. Again, just let me know how you've been doing. I know that there's a few of you that are new, so hello to you. I know you've probably subscribed and been like, wait, okay, where's the next video? Here's the next video, and I hope to be back in the swing of things and put some new things out for you guys. So anyhow, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for being here for this probably 20-minute long video. If you're here still, thank you for listening to my rambling. But anyhow, I will see you next time. Bye for now.